Welcome to the Small Business Loan Committee meeting for Wednesday, October 20th. And we do not have a quorum, is that correct? No quorum?
You do, you have one.
You do have a quorum? Oh, all right, cool, we got a quorum. So we'll get the show on the road. We have the agenda from you, Stephen. Looks like we start with the minutes from our last meeting.
Yes, so the minutes for September 15th, you should have them. Please let me know if there's anything that I left out or missed with these. I had actually kind of been suspecting that I might have deleted a couple of the notes that I had for it. So really take a good look at these and make sure that I didn't miss anything for that meeting. There wasn't a lot that was discussed, but just please check behind me for this one. And Darnella, are you there? I haven't heard from you yet.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, just checking. I think I saw Diane say something. And just wanted to.
I am here. Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to hear everyone's voices to make sure that you're there. It's a lonely world here at the city. I just want to hear some voices.
And some faces. Where are the faces today?
Stephen, I think I was on the Zoom for this meeting. Right, for the 1401 North Liberty.
Were you? Okay, so I wasn't entirely sure. I knew that I had written down Kevin's name. I'll add yours. Thank you for that.
I remember discussing that property.
Okay, I'll put you down.
All right, it looks like any other additions to these minutes? So we've added Justin's attendance. Anything else? If not, I'd like to call for a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded to approve these minutes for the September 15th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And then we have another action item, Stephen, on the agenda for today?
I'm afraid not, actually. We don't actually have an action item. There are a couple of things that I could probably discuss that have, based on emails back and forth. The first is that Justin Gomez requested the economic development update for loan repayments, and I'd supplied that to you all. Now, Justin didn't specify that he wanted it to be discussed at the meeting, but I'd hate to just send that out and not allow myself to be opened up for questions. Again, I may not know, just like with anything related to loan repayment, I may not know the answer today at the meeting, but I can get that information to you at some point. We don't, business development staff does not deal directly with loan repayments and or take them. It's all done through our finance department. They manage all the loan repayments that the city does through our various lending programs.
Yeah, Stephen, thanks for sending this. I had a couple of questions. In the column where it says date of last payment, there's a few of the lines that are blank. Obviously, the one that where the first date is not till June of 2022, that makes sense why that is blank. But do you know, I think the three at the bottom are blank as well.
If there's a blank, that means that there hasn't been a payment yet, and that could be due to a couple of things. The first is that they may have not had all the funds fully dispersed yet, and so we staff has often delayed payment to when funds have been fully dispersed, or they may not have. Or they may have only recently been fully dispersed. And in that case, maybe loan repayment hasn't fully started yet. It could also be related to a program that we initiated during COVID, where we had some loans that were given, a much more substantial amount of time to start repayment, or a delay in repayment due to, negative, due to the economic disaster that was the COVID-19 crisis. So those are a couple of reasons. And the third one, of course, is they just haven't made a payment yet reason. And so it could be either of one of those things. I do know that out of that list, the Rhythm is back in business. I don't know if you saw that or not yet. They paused their business in late last year and early 2021, and they were back in business, so that's good. And I think that Murat Marketing was only recently fully dispersed, so they may not have just kicked in payments yet.
Well, I guess
have been dispersed to Moringa Farms, has it?
Moringa Farms has been fully dispersed, but the loan funds have not been spent yet. There's been some, I think this was the other thing that we were going to talk about, or could talk about today. And this was the More Than Mana has out of most of the businesses that we have, they're all unique. They all have their unique challenges. But we've noticed that the More Than Mana business, due to their specific business model, has faced a lot of challenges with supply lines for getting the specific things they need to move forward with their business. So that's something that we're dealing with at the staff level, and trying to find something that would make everybody happy for how we move forward with that. And still kind of figuring out exactly where that's going to go, but most likely we'll be requesting that the funds be returned, and then possibly having them come back to the loan committee for to make their case that they can still have a successful business model with these challenges.
Wait, Stephen, you say Moringa Farms, the company has received the money?
Yes.
But they have not, okay, so it's just sitting in a bank account somewhere, or sitting in there?
Correct. The supply line shortages have been the big issue with them. They have to get bottles and capsules to put the herbal supplements in, and they've faced delay after delay after delay for that. So that's where that business stands.
And you said when you return the money, and it will go to them again, or it will go to somebody else?
Well, I believe that the plan right now is to have them return it to us, and we would then have them go back to the committee and explain the delay, and then request make a new request or make a follow-up request for funding. It's slightly unusual, but that's where we are right now. I think that it's undergone a couple of evolutions, how we're going to approach this one.
So that's good information, Stephen. I guess, with this, so there's 3 or 4 scenarios that you presented of maybe why someone's not up to date on their payments, which are understandable. One of them being that, just straight up not making payments. Out of everyone on this list, is there, I guess, what is the loan has been dispersed, and so the finance department of the city of Winston-Salem has a process for which to communicate with these people and get payments or send the bill. So if they're just if they've not communicated with you or the finance department and are ignoring correspondence from the city of Winston-Salem, what happens then? Well,
we do our best to work with people, to get repaid. That's the focus. We do have, recourse for, more extreme cases when it comes to the collateral that was used to secure the loan. But we try to avoid that. We try to work with people first, and then try to help them figure out a repayment method that will allow their business model to succeed while also repaying the city. We try to be as consistent as possible, but each loan does present unique challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Who is GCDC LLC?
GCDC LLC. I believe that is the corporation that was running the business that was in Zestos.
Oh, okay.
So Zesto, I think it had 2 or 3 different organizations that were all coming together for it, and GCDC was one of them. So that's what that is.
Cool. And they're no longer in that building, right?
Correct. That building is, I think it's occupied by Papa Lee's right now.
Hmm.
I had to reach back in my brain for that one, Diane. Thank you.
That's why I asked. I couldn't remember it.
So is there any heartburn from economic development staff or finance staff over any of these?
Well, I always feel it in my bones whenever, one of these businesses goes, doesn't work out. So if you're looking at it on the list and it didn't survive, then that's definitely given me some heartburn. But that's inherent with a relatively high risk business lending program like this. So yeah, I would say that I get a little bit of heartburn from that. Unless you mean literal heartburn. In that case, I can't think of any, really.
No, I meant the figurative, stress-induced kind.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat positive that 7 of these folks have made payments in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
which means that they survived 2020.
Right.
And it looks like you've got 2 in September and 2 in August, 1 in July. we know that Now and Later Fashions is closed, but she still has a payment made all the way to August. And I'm pretty sure some of these others are still operating. Like,
indeed, yeah. You're right. There is a lot of positive. There are a lot of positive things to pick up from this, and I salute the good judgment from the Small Business Loan Committee for giving a lot of these businesses the opportunity and then having them show that even through an economic downturn, they've managed fairly well. So hats off there.
I wasn't going that far. I was just saying,
I'm all
saying there's seven who paid.
As we all know, Carol is a terrible loan officer.
I wasn't going that far either. I was just pointing out.
No, you bounced past me and I dunked, Carol. That's what I do.
There's still some life left. There's 2021 payments. That's good. People are still.
People are clawing their way
along. Some of them are chugging along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll have some new ones for you. I've got a couple people I'm talking to right now that are fairly close to having a full package together. Frankly, I've noticed a lot of hesitancy when it comes to loans in general from a lot of people that I've talked to for the last year or so. I feel like I've got a few really good candidates I'm going to be putting in front of you pretty soon.
Well, they're hesitant because now there are grant dollars available like never before for small businesses. And so I'm not surprised. People are going after the grant money, but
it's still hard when it comes to grants and startups, though. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Existing businesses, there's some opportunities there, but startups are still pretty starved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's typically the people I'm working with now that are. And again, those types of individuals are often the people that require the most work when it comes to staff helping them through the process as well. So that's just, it's another aspect of this that I wanted to mention. Does anyone else have any questions for me regarding, any of the information that I sent out?
So did you say that you do or do not still have contact with most of these people?
We do.
Yeah.
And there's no one that's debating us or anything like that. We're in pretty good contact with everybody, and trying to maintain those communication lines is important. Again, a lot of that's done through the finance department, but we do step in and reach out, very often in our department as well.
I wondered, do people still contact you for guidance as they're trying to grow or pivot?
It's not quite as that's not quite as common as I probably would have suspected when I started this job, however many years ago. But it does happen. And when it does, I try to keep my ear to the ground for all the different local resources that we have in Winston-Salem that aren't necessarily the city of Winston-Salem. There's a lot of organizations and opportunities out there. So, something that I've done a number of times is sort of point people in the right direction and say, you need to talk to so-and-so, or you need to look up this organization. So when that's happened, that's often been the type of assistance that I've provided to people who've already gotten loans and are looking for some extra help. More in, I think, at least 1 or 2 cases where we've had people pay off a loan and then come back for additional funds.
All right, any other questions for Stephen? Stephen, any questions for us?
No, I can't think of anything. I just hope everybody's doing well and, you know, not letting the continuing deterioration of society stress you out too much.
How can we not, Stephen, with the way you put that? Continuing deterioration of society. I'm stressed. I wasn't stressed, but now I am, Stephen.
I can't help it. I'm a little bit in my feelings today over the COVIDs. So, you know, it's getting to me. But so this is why you shouldn't prompt me, Carol. I'm a little loony sometimes.
You need to go back to the Renaissance Festival or something.
Right.
How long? Is it over?
No,
Is
I think
it still going on? Huh?
There might be a couple. I think there might be a couple more.
Oh, well, see, there you go. You need to go back. Halloween's coming.
That's true. I'm a very tall person, so you know I always have people coming up to me and telling me I need to dress as Frankenstein or you know Herman Munster for Halloween.
And you started the small business training class, right? That's in session yet?
Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. We've had
how's that going?
The business training program this year it's going to kick off next week. And the response has been unbelievable.
Oh, good.
We've had, right now I'm sitting at a starting class that's twice the size of any that I've done since 2015 or so.
Wow.
And they just keep coming in. I think actually even in this meeting, I saw 2 more emails come in, people requesting to join the class. So it's a massive response to that. And I've got a couple of ideas of how that happened. I know Fox 8 spent some time advertising it, and then our good marketing department here put out a lot of information. I think on top of that, a number of other organizations have been getting the word out as well. So that one is it's pretty huge this year. And I don't know if you all are familiar with it, but we do a 9-week program every year that starts in late October and runs into the middle of December, where we teach classes for 2 hours every Tuesday night. I teach a couple of classes, but mostly we bring in outside experts to speak on specific topics. And Carol and the Enterprise Center were kind enough to host us for at least 2 or 3 years of it pretty recently. But we've been doing it on Zoom since last year. And it's very interesting to do it that way with how people engage with that program. Especially when they forget to turn their mics off. That's really funny. But yeah, so I'll be looking forward. I'll be teaching the first class on, I think, the 28th or the 26th next week. The 26th, yeah. Should be fun. Thank you for reminding me of that, Carol. I don't think I'd ever really talk through the business training program that we offer here during one of these meetings. So.
Well, we know that's where a lot of your applicants come from, right?
That's where a lot of applicants come from, especially for the contest, the business plan contest. The fact that a lot of the class revolves around not just writing a business plan, but also using a business plan to help structure how you view, organizing your business and preparing to run a business. It sort of flows nicely into the contest every year. I think that both of the winners, or at least one of the winners, came out of the class from this year. Contest winners from this year came out of last year's class, is what I'm trying to say. I think either last year's or the year before's. I'm not entirely sure.
It's a good class. You do a great job. I think people enjoy getting the information and seem to, get to know each other. And so,
yeah, you mentioned that, getting to know each other, and that is something that we unfortunately miss out on when we do it online. The networking and the camaraderie and all of that. It's kind of an odd trade-off, because I think we get more people when we do it online, but maybe we lose some of that networking.
Yeah, especially the snacks and the pizza and, all that stuff.
Yes, Carol. I know how much respect you have for the chips and water bottles that I like to put out.
But the pizza, the pizza too.
Right.
Pizza's good.
And we have to tell everybody, if we have a minute, that one year my car broke down and Carol came and got me and all the pizza that I was going to bring to the class and rescued the business training program.
Oh, you
yes. Poor Stephen was standing in the parking lot at the
Little Caesars.
With the pizzas.
A bunch of
all the pizzas just steaming up the back of my car, just in Little Caesars, and my car had broken down right in the parking lot. And I called Carol, panicking. Carol, help me!
Carol,
and
yeah,
luckily she did.
That was great. And you got your car fixed, came back like nothing happened, kept the party going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So is that all for today, Stephen?
That's all I have. And I appreciate y'all's questions. Anytime you need any information from me, just please feel free to reach out. I may not be able to get it to you immediately, but I'll do my best to get it to you as soon as I can.
All right. If that's all, shall we adjourn at 4:39 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
All right. Good to see you.
Thank you.